Hi, today our topic for this video will be the themes in the return of the native. So without wasting time, let's start. That's a very important one. The themes in return of the native, we have different themes, man and the nature. Let's start with the first one. Man and nature is arguably the central theme of the novel. The characters and Heath having an interesting relationship in which people and Heath reflect each other's mood. This is a book about how man exists within the nature. In fact, man doesn't live side by side within the nature as equal at all. Nature is downright Darwinian. The Darwinian, everything boils down to survival, competition, and evolution. So this is the theme of the return of the native, man and nature. Next we have love. The theme of love in the return of the native is often not at all romantic or ever nice. Love, in fact, love is a fantasy for many of these characters. Characters fall in love based on their romanticized vision of another person, not on reality. Stacia is blinded by her longing for Paris when falls for Klein. Stacia seems bored by the idea of happy, conflict free love. They clearly agree with the Shakespearean thought on how the course of true love never did run smooth. So next we have the theme of fate. Fate is the leading theme in this fiction. Stacia thinks of death at one despairing moment. She thinks of death as a release if the star of heaven should continue much longer. Stacia are ill-used by the fate. Just before she commits suicide, she loudly laments her lot, ranting against the bitterness of her fate. Next is Climb is thwarted both professionally and personally. Mrs. Yobright is fearsomely judgmental but also unlucky, a victim of circumstances that lead to despair and death. Next theme we have theme of family. Family in the return of native can be vicious, grudge and loyalty. No one hold a grudge quite like a family member, and no one offer up loyalty quite like a family. The relationship between Climb and his mother. The family relationship at the heart of this novel is intense. Strained bond between Climb and his mother. Their relationship comes to breaking point when Climb fails to meet his mother's expectation for him and marries Stacia. Next we have theme of isolation. In the return of the native, we get frequent images of people walking alone. And while they are alone, they are generally silent and are often swallowed up by the heath. The entire world of this novel is very lonely one. Isolation at individual level. Isolation impacts character on highly individual level as well. Isolation is the root source of emotion, turmoil, dissatisfaction and sadness. As an example, we can take Stacia. She is a character in the novel. On the next we have the theme of superstition. Superstition permeates the text and is connected with the death of Stacia and possibly Mrs. Yobright. In most basic sense, superstitious exists through the Heath local. Many local, Susan non such, most of all believe Stacia is a witch. The people concept about her, if she floated, she was vindicated, and if she drowned, she was proven witch. Tragically, the Stacia floats, but it brings no benefit since she is died. So next to superstition we have the marriage as a trap. The theme of marriage as a trap, hard is pessimism. The hard is pessimism about the individual human destiny extended to the social institute as well. In his fiction, Hardy drew steadily away from the idealization of Mrs. Yobright, except a slightly different form of this sort of prejudice against Stacia. But the institution of marriage, as Hardy portrayed, is also by powerful forces like egoistic competition, money, and ambition. Last point, Stacia's fascinated with climb is repeatedly portrayed as a ground on the glamour and luxury. Next, we have the theme of Oedipus. Climb's relationship with his mother. Climb has an intense and turbulent relationship with his mother, which evokes the Oedipus complex. Simply, the Oedipus complex is describe an unhealthy love or hate attraction between a mother and son. Mrs. Yobright has clearly had great ambition for her son. We see her disappointment when he reveals that he has left Paris to return to Egdon. She cannot appreciate his return to Egdon as a step forward. Instead, she vicariously considers it as a sign of failure. Now it's time for the conclusion. Critics usually refer Hardy's theme as a fatalistic, a view of life that shows human action being controlled by an impersonal force, perhaps called destiny or fate. which is independent of both humanity and its God. So this is from my side. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you very much.